Alright, Rednecks, it's finally warm enough that we can do a video on my lifted Honda here. It is a 1995 Honda Civic hatchback with a 3.5-inch lift, brush guard, a working moon visor, roof rack, dual exhaust, and a few other things I think you guys are going to like, so let's take a look. Alright, let's start with the brush guard. I made this on a pipe bender, or a tube bender for exhaust. It is a 1.5-inch gas pipe. And this is actually anchored right through my front bumper, all the way down. These frame horns run down to the cradle underneath, so she's quite stout. She'll be able to take a pretty good hit, so wouldn't you think, Ratchy? Next thing we have is my favorite. This really makes the car stand out. It is actually a moon visor off a first gen S10, and what I ended up doing was cutting it on both sides and taking 2 inches out and refiberglassing it back together, and yes, it works. As for the roof rack, this is off a 2nd gen S10 Blazer. I ended up cutting it both length and widthwise, so the crossbars are cut as well, and I have to say it was quite significantly cut. This is a small rack, but gives it a good off-road style, so I like it. As for the dual exhaust, you're probably thinking there's no way that's real, and define real. What we ended up doing is right here, we ran single all the way from the front back to right here, and we put a little diverter piece in that diverts the exhaust over to this side. So technically it's duals, but it ain't duals. I don't care. Since this car is custom through and through, had to do the tinted Euros. Oh yeah. Now if you're wondering how long I've owned this car, look no further than this right here. Seven years. This thing's been beat for 7 years. One thing I had to add to this car, because everybody always asks, man, how fast is it? Can I drive it? And I just had to put that to an end. Dang right, that thing's fast. And no, you can't drive it. Now inside this very luxurious car, you will notice the low miles this thing has. Oh yeah, I didn't roll that back to all zeros. If you take a look up here, we have an overhead console, sunglasses, CD holder I put a light in, got another light. None of it works. Sure looks cool though. Now when I'm driving around listening to my favorite tune on my really nice Sony deck, we got our Infinity speakers, professionally mounted of course by yours truly. looking for something custom under the hood and something sick, this ain't it. This is a 1.6 liter engine with a 1.5 head on it to up the compression. I figured it's 105 horsepower, so yeah, get out of this thing's way. It is hooked to a 1.6 liter SI 5-speed manual transmission, and no, this ain't a turbo. This is a Dixie horn. As for the tires, this is the second set of tires I've had on this car. They're Firestone Winter Forces, and I have to say, I highly recommend these to anybody who has to do a lot of winter driving, because these things are nice. Alright guys, I'm going to stick the camera in there in the front suspension. I'm going to try and go over what I did to lift the front of this thing. Yeah. Take a look. This plate right here used to be down here. All we did was we ground off the welds and moved it up, and we welded this, we actually cut a piece of exhaust tubing, spaced it in there to help support it even more, and all that is what my coil spring sits on. So that gave me my 3.5 inches of lift in the front. And here at the back of the car, what we ended up doing is we took these are the shock plates. We just welded 2 of them together, and this is a coil out of the front of the car. So now you're thinking to yourself, you know, that don't sound too bad. It took us about 2 hours, maybe not even that, probably an hour and a half to lift the car, and it took us about 3 to 3.5 hours to align it. So these cars are not meant to be lifted. What do you think, Ratchet? What do you think? Think the Honda drive up that snow pile right there behind you? I think it could. Let's see if it can. What'd you expect? It's still a Honda. Now always have a backup plan for stuff like this, and yeah. We're gonna need that. Since pretty much set up anyways. How about we try and come in on an angle right here. It's not nearly as steep as over there. See how far we can make it. Alright guys, enough horseplay for the day. Have to say that was quite fun. Alright, let me know what you guys thought of the lifted Honda. Maybe the Subaru Outback. Even maybe Ratchy down there. But yeah, like, share, subscribe, get back to work.